Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy 3 here with the first official upload of the new channel. I know it's been a long time coming, and I really wanted to get back into this content business for a while now. The dust has settled, life has slowed down, and we can really get to grinding these videos, man. We got a lot of exciting things coming to this channel: Pokemon content, draft league, tour games, game reviews, team building, showdown lives, you name it. But we're going to start the channel off right. We're going to start it off with a banger series of weekly uploads. The official GTP Pokemon Draft League Season 9. And what I've been hearing from the community is this is the new era. We got a lot of competitive coaches this season. We've done away with the old spreadsheets and we moved to these Pokemon draft websites so we can keep all the conglomerate of seasons together and track all the data. This is what they call the advanced analytics. I'm really excited to kick things off this year. As you can see in front of you, this is the squad I drafted. The Queen City Koraidons. We're going with a little, what I like to call Darkrai Double Dragon O. I know, the team might look a little weird, but these are some mods that I've been wanting to use for a while now in these seasons, and I'm very excited to get to working with this team after looking at it in the builder and looking at all the matchups I got this season. So let's start it off with my first pick, Darkrai. I've been wanting to use this mon for a long time now. A very long time. Take a look at him here. Very fast, special attacker, and quite honestly, one of the best dark types on the board. On a board that doesn't have a lot of dark types, if you know what I'm saying. Teams in this league I noticed don't have a lot of dark resist, and the coverage of Darkrai really just hammers home big sweeping opportunities. I can also be really versatile with Darkrai. We can run some Nasty Ply, we can run some subsets, Life Orb, Choice. Have coaches on their heels about what set is going to be brought. So I really like the versatility. We rounded it out with Heatran was actually my second pick. By far one of the best defensive mons on the board with Fire Steel typing, the quad fairy resist, which a lot of teams have a big fairy weakness, a rock setter, and overall just hard-hitting defensive bulky mon. I could really round this out. My third pick, my little man that I've been wanting to run for a while. We got base Ogerpon. Now I like the versatility of base Ogerpon rather than the other forms, because I don't have to wear the mask items. Now this draft league is no Terra, so we don't get that added benefit. However, I can slap any item I want on this Ogerpon. You know, I got a team build video dropping soon, but the versatility of Ogerpon looks really good. Heavy duty boots, Life Orb. I could even run banded sets if I needed to break some stall. Second pick in this league. Now, I really wanted Dragonite with this pick, but I unfortunately couldn't get it. It got sniped from me. So, we settled with Latios here, which to me, honestly, was a good substitute. Everybody knows what Latios does. Come in and drop Dracos. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. A nice 130 base special attack, decently bulky 110 speed. Speed is very needed in this league, as I'll go through it later, but a lot of teams don't seem to have that speed factor. And this also works out in the builder too, because we can really modify some EVs to only outspeed what is needed and put some other stats somewhere else that we might need. Next pick on the board. I was really struggling with a ground type here, and Mega Garchomp was the best available at the time for its price. Now, Mega Garchomp was by far not my first option, but after looking at it in the builder, this boy is quite versatile, bulky. As you can see here, base 108 HP with 115 defense and 95 special defense. With that monstrous 170 attack, that means I don't have to absolutely max it out every time I bring it against opponents. I can sometimes substitute that for a little bit of bulk and defense or a little bit of special defense. The only thing pushing me away about Garchomp was the obvious speed drop. You know, it goes down to a base 92 speed, which it isn't horrible, but definitely leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to the speed end of things. So as getting it, I got a couple of mons to support that kind of speed problem for him. As you can see at the far right of my screen, you see Rabambi. We can get a little bit of sticky web offense going, which could really help out Mega Garchomp as well as Heatran and other threats on my team, such as Quaquaval and Ogerpon, to really outspeed those nasty sweepers such as, you know, a Meowscarada or a Greninja, among other things. Now we got our hazard cleaners. As you can see here, we got Quaquaval and Glamora. Now, Quaquaval wasn't my first pick. I did leave Urshifu Rapid Strike on the board, which I thought I should have picked up. But after looking, I think the Rapid Spin versatility and the set versatility that Quaquaval brings to the team could really bolster the versatility of this team altogether. As you can see, the only one that really has to be having an item on it, a specific item, is Garchomp. And that is so big when it comes to a draft league, because it leaves other coaches trying to prepare for me on their heels, which I love. Glamora is also a very good hazard setter for me. With the added layer of Toxic Debris, its ability, setting up a layer of T-Spikes with physical moves. We have access to Stealth Rocks and Spikes, as well as just being a monstrous special attacker himself, with access to Power Herb, Meteor Beam, Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power, Energy Ball, several coverages that we can hit a lot of threats with. And to round out our team, we got our spin blocker Rotom. Now, I was looking at the builder. Rotom's a little demon. A little birdie told me in my Discord, said Rotom is a known Great Tusk Bullier. I was looking at those calcs, and he is correct on that. But we mostly got Rotom for a spin blocker. We needed that ghost type. It made us a little bit weaker to ghost, because we do have the overlapping typings with Latios and Cresselia, but it's not adding that much of a detriment when you're providing so much value with that electric and ghost typing to our team. And last but not least, had to get my GOAT, my wall, Cresselia. Now, I've used Cresselia for a couple of draft leagues outside of this one, and it's always done me wonders. I'm always seeing calcs that are 3-hit KOs. I can spread T-Wave, Paralysis, access to Moonlight, as well as Lunar Dance. And to be honest, this can also be a calm mind sweeper. If you let Cresselia get a couple of boosts, things can really start to get out of hand and snowball into big damage for my sweepers such as Latios and Darkrai and Ogerpon to come in and really clean up. Like I said, that's the breakdown for my team at least. I know a lot of people wanted me to do this, so you know what? I am. We're gonna take a look at a few of the rosters in here, really break down how our team matches up into them and how threatening they look in the league in general. Let's go ahead and start from the top here. We got Andres with a team of Dragapult, Tinglu, Sneasler, Rillaboom, Primarina, Mega Gyarados, Skarmory, Volcarona, Sylveon, and Escavalier. First things first, gotta address the elephant in the room, obviously, is Dragapult. I believe Dragapult in this league, after Regieleki got dropped, is the fastest mon in the entire league. Now, I could be wrong. Nope, I am wrong. Deoxyspeed did get drafted. I apologize. But anyways, bolstering a monstrous stat of 142 speed, they call Dragapult one of the best draft mons in general. Mostly because of its speed tier as well as its access to other coverages. You don't have to fully invest in that speed stat to outspeed most teams in this league, which is very dangerous considering the thing that Dragapult's weakness would be its bulk. But if we don't have to fully invest into the speed, we can add some of that bulk to it, making it rolls more favorable or make certain Pokemon not see kills. Other than that, like I said, Dragapult's just a threat into itself. And after looking at this team is very threatening to me. Tinglu being the special wall that it is, the unbreakable. Sneasler also the Dire Claw status spreader that it is, unburdened sweeper. Rillaboom with the grassy glide. Banded Woodhammer, grassy terrain, sustainability for Primarina and Mega Gyarados. Now, I think Mega Gyarados is one of those really slept on Megas, which can also turn into a snowball with access to D-Dance and other coverage moves. I mean, this mon's no joke. 155 attack, 95 HP, 109 defense, 130 special defense. You can definitely afford to invest in some bulk here and really threaten breaking some of these teams that are in the league. Skarmory as your hazard setter is very nice. Volcarona, obviously one of the best bugs on the board. Quiver Dance threat, sub threat, bulky, just a monster in itself. The one thing I'm seeing is I don't see, unless I could be mistaken, I don't see a lot of hazard removal. But like I said, that's not the biggest thing to me right now. It looks just like a little bit of Dragapult hyper offense, which hyper offense can be very successful, and we have seen it be successful in this league. Let's go to see some other teams. Caps Lock and the St. Paul Weezings. Now, over the past 9 seasons that Caps Lock has been in here, he's considered the GOAT to a wide majority of the draft community here, and deservingly so. Very strong battler, very strong drafter, and he is a what we would call a wizard in the builder. We see his team here, and I'm seeing a team full of threats. Zamazenta to be one. Obviously one of the best Pokemon on the board. With added support of Prankster T-Wave from Thunderous Incarnate, and we have Roaring Mood and Jirachi to support it as well. Jirachi being one of the best budgets on any draft board, to be quite honest with you. We have the walls of Tangrowth and Alamamola. Man, this team is going to be hard to break. We have Wish Passing, Alamamola plus Regenerator. We also have the Tangrowth Regenerator. Pheasantipity being a great special wall with Assault Vest and having a great typing as being a grounded poison and a fairy type. Ampharos and the Dunsparce. Now, I'm not sure what the Dunsparce does, but I am excited to see it cook. Hisuian Arcanon obvious had Smash Choice Scarf sets, Banded sets, you name it. Mon can obviously just be a threat, and we got a good Rapid Spin Dawn fan to add that physical bulk, knockoff chip, and a hazard setter. And we obviously got Zora Kasui for that spin blocker, plus being a mind game threat. I do believe I play Caps Lock this season as the last week. I am dreading that matchup, but we're going to take it how it goes. Let's take a look at some of these other teams here. Blazer with the Mega Gallade Palafin. This is the one that stole Dragonite from me. Let's take a look at this team here. Mega Gallade Palafin, Iron Treads Dragonite, Enamorous Incarnate, Cerulege, Hydrapple, Porygon 2, Grimmsnarl, and Minior. Not much to be said about this team. This team is obviously full of threats and a lot of... Looks like we got a screen offense for Palafin and Mega Gallade, who are already bulky in themselves. Mega Gallade being one of the highest point mons on this board, having so much coverage for almost any circumstance, with a monstrous 165 base attack and that much needed 110 speed. But that 115 bulk and special defense is not to be scoffed at. This mon can take some hits. We obviously all know what the threat Palafin is. 100 HP, 160 attack, 97 defense, 106 special attack, 87 special defense, and 100 speed. This team looks very good at supporting those two mons. Dragonite can obviously be a threat with multi-scale Dragon Dance, looking to sweep almost any end game. That's exactly why I wanted it. Plus the added benefit that I've been wanting to play with Dragonite, but I digress. Enamorous Incarnate, one of the strongest fairy type special attackers on the board. Specs sets, Scarf sets. This mon is just a entire threat to teams that are very, very weak. And honestly, a threat to my team with that coverage of Earth Power to hit the Heatran on switch in, maybe catch it. Yeah, Blazers team, I believe, is very good. I expect to see this team in the playoffs. Now let's go to another team. Let's do the new guy in the league, the Stardust Crusaders, Rexy, who drafted Excadrill, Dracovish, Tyranitar, Togekiss, Hatterene, Slowking, Roserade, Como-O, Clodsire, Mega Aggron, Vikavolt, and Drifloon. It looks like we just have looks like a unique Hatterene Sand team. The mons on the team may not look all that strong, but he's got a lot of utility that could really hinder a lot of teams in the league. Hatterene, obviously, with the magic bounce ability and the ability to set Trick Room with Slowking and Mega Aggron, Vikavolt here. Can really do some damage. Obviously, you could put Sand Rush on either Excadrill or Dracovish on that Tyranitar Sand. You know, those two are the dynamic duo, Excadrill and Tyranitar. So I'm really excited to see what Rexy can do this season with this team. Moving on, we got my boy Cammy. The villain of the GTP draft community is what we call him. Let's see what he drafted this year. He's got Great Tusk, Iron Bundle, Slowking Galar, Cinderace Scizor, Tinkaton, Mandibuzz, Amoonguss, Florges, and Vaporeon. This team, I mean, just looking at it, you can just tell it is uber bulky. The only problem I see with this team is lacking a little bit of offense. Your offensive options being Iron Bundle, Cinderace, Scizor, Great Tusk, Gigaton, Hammer from Tinkaton always hits, but our offensive options are mostly physical. Iron Bundle is really our only special offense, which can be easily schemed against. I'm excited to see what Kami does with this team. He told me he had the season figured out and he had no worries, so I'm excited to see where this goes. My boy Pizza, Terapagos, Melmetal, Gliscor, Mega Gardevoir, Urshifu, Rabid, Nihiligo, Moltres, Infernape, Rotom, Mo, Jellicent, and Durant. Uber offensive team with some hints of a little bit of Trick Room. I know Pizza likes that Trick Room teams. He dedicated a whole run to it one season, and I believe he made playoffs. But yeah, Pizza being one of the stronger battlers in the league, I would say this team can pose threats to a lot of people. Gliscor obviously so hard to break with that Toxic Orb, Poison Heal. Urshifu standing out as one of the best wall breakers on Choice Band or Choice Scarf sets. Water, that Surging Strikes being such good coverage to hit multiple mons. Nihiligo and Moltres Galar look like the snowball effect Pokemon. You know, Moltres Galar with that Citrus Berry Berserk to really boost it up, can run agility sets. Nihiligo can run power herb sets. And that also serves as a great grounded poison that can set hazards on the other side. Infernape being a great lead option with Focus Sash. Jellicent as a spin blocker. Yeah, this team has a lot of threats. Melmetal is obviously an uber giga threat in this league with Double Iron Bash and being a very hard kill. Moving on, we got Larip, Crimson Night Sky. We have Mega Diancie, Mew, Samurai Hisui, Annihilate, Zygarde, Iron Crown, Ogerpon Hearthflame, Moltres, Magnezone, Ludicolo, Cryogonal, and Alcremie. Now, I know you all see that Ogerpon Hearthflame in the middle. Don't worry. Terra is not in this league. Hinders it a little bit, but still a threat nonetheless with that dual Grass Fire coverage. We have Mega Diancie. Now, I've never been big on Mega Diancie, but I'm told it's one of the best mons in this draft. Now, this thing is uber powerful, boasting 160 attack and 160 special attack and a nice 110 speed to really outspeed most of the league with Stab, Moonblast, Stab, Diamond Storms, serving as a magic bounce and hazard de-incentivizer, really. Mew being that Play-Doh of the team can really transform into anything it wants to fit that role. It really could fit any role of the team. It can run any set. One of the most dynamic mons in this draft. Samurai Hisui with Ceaseless Edge, Spike setting, is uber powerful. Annihilate as a really nice ghost type. I considered drafting it, but I really had to get some other pieces for my team at the time. But Annihilate's uber good. Rage Fish, obviously. The only problem I see with it, I think it's easily schemed against in draft. But I'm excited to see where it goes in this draft. Iron Crown I've used before. It was actually in my championship season I used Iron Crown. It served me fantastic. There was Terra in that, but Tachyon Cutter, you could really run so many sets. Weakness Policy, Assault Vest, Specs. Iron Crown is really one of those versatile mons. Moltres being a very defensive check to almost all physical attackers that don't have rock coverage. And Ogerpon Hearthflame both in that 110 speed and 120 attack with that grass fire coverage really is a very tough mon to switch into, especially with Stomping Tantrum, Knockoff, U-Turn. Great pivot mon as well. Yeah, Ogerpon Hearthflame's a problem in itself. Excited to see where Rip goes this season. Here we go. My boy Calm started this draft off honestly looking like a little bit of a Gen 6. A little throwback to Gen 6, I would say. But we have Kira, Mega Mawile, Aegislash, Iron Moth, Keldeo, Zarude, Latias, Reuniclus, Gligar, Magneton, and my boy Regigigas. Hey, shout out Calm. I hope Regigigas sees some play this season. But Calm has sent me a couple of calcs and a couple of things in the builder that he's been looking at. And this team looks uber threatening to a lot. Aegislash being one of the best ghosts on the board. Mega Mawile just with that huge power, just chunking physical walls and anybody, really. Kyurem is also an uber chunker with that Ice Beam, with that Ice Stab, and Stab Draco. It's just a really tough mon to find consistent switch-ins into. Keldeo and Iron Moth, I believe, kind of serve one and the same, just very hard stabs to consistently switch into with their special attack. You know, Keldeo with that Secret Sword, as well as Hydro Pump. These are just two very versatile mons. Now, Zarude would be a lot more threatening if this was Terra. This might have been the best team in the league if Zarude was Terra, but it's not. But that doesn't make it not good. I just haven't really seen a non-Terra Zarude cook, so I'm really excited to see what this mon does this season. Let's kind of see what else is going on here. Okay, so we're about halfway through getting on right now, so let's go with Benzi's team. We have Kartana, Tapu Fini, Raging Bolt, Iron Hands, Metagross, Blacephalon, Mega Venusaur, Terrakion, Araquanid, Claydol, Honchkrow, Zygarde, 10%. The first thing that stands out to me on this team is we don't have a ton of consistent ground switch-ins. But this team is uber bulky. Sticky web support was Terrakion. I know Benzi's drafted Terrakion a couple of times in this league, so that seems to be his main slice. Oh, Claydol is obviously his mascot. He's drafted that every season he's been in this league, and I don't expect him to do any less. But like I said, ground looks pretty threatening into this team. Consistent ground switch-ins. We have a lot of uber great ground earthquake abusers, such as we have Garchomp in the league. I know Ursaluna Blood Moon is in this league. So Zygarde. So finding consistent switch-ins for those bonds may be a little tough, but overall I do like the mons. Mega Venusaur, one of my favorite megas. Uber bulky, hits like a truck with Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain, and can really heal that damage off with Leech Seed and Synthesis combined. Yeah, this team is uber threatening. I'm really excited to see what Kartana and Raging Bolt do this season with Benzi. I do think this team could make playoffs, but I do think it also has a lot of holes to fill going forward. Let's see here. My boy Z Depina. Rocking Landorus, Therian, Greninja, Megalop, Chiyu, Rotom Wash, Corviknight, Muckalola, Gengar, Garganacl, and Tangela. Now, Z is actually my first matchup of the season. A team build video coming soon. I had that prep right after this, actually. But this team is uber threatening. Landers obviously being, if not one of, if not the best Mon on this board, with that Intimidate, great typing, Stab, Earthquake with that 140, with that 145 attack. It's just uber great in any draft you could find since since literally it came out in Gen 5. But yeah, we all know what Landers Therian's about. Super fast Greninja Mega Lop offensive core, rounded out by a base 100 speed Chi-Yu, who can obviously just nuke anyone in front of it with specs modest overheats. Rotomage being one of the best defensive mons. I love that mon alongside Corviknight and Muckalola. Makes this team really hard to break. And his man Tangela at the end. Very defensive physical wall that can really just be annoying and be a nuisance for other teams with that Regenerator. And that Salt Cure, Garganacl to support it. Yeah, this team, he told me he was going to make playoffs this season. He's coming off of a comeback season, so excited to see where this one goes. We will be taking a look at some of his games next. My boy Josh. Looks like we're running a little bit of rain. Walking Weight, King Gambit, Manaphy, Arcaudon, Mega Swampert, Pelipper, Raikou, Dondozo, Diancie, Blissey, Darmanitan, and Glass Tree. Very offensive rain team. Mega Swampert and Sand, Mega Swampert and Rain obviously being a huge threat, along with that Arcaudon Electro Shot. And Manaphy, now I personally think Manaphy's one of the best budget mods in any draft board, usually spanning around that 12 to 8 point range. Its coverages and Tail Glow, Take Heart, especially in rain, I think it's just too good for its price range. So if there was definitely, if you wanted a budget pick and you still needed a water type, I would definitely be looking at Manaphy. I know I was for sure looking at Manaphy to start this season. Unfortunately, Joshua took this as a second pick, and I was definitely not taking it there. But sad I didn't get it. I do expect this team to cook. I'm not really sure what Darmanitan is doing on this team. Seems like a little bit of a hindrance. You know, Darmanitan kind of wants to come in, click those Scarf Flare Blitzes or those Banded Flare Blitzes. But you know, a great man once told me, all you need is a good fire type. Excited to see what Josh does this season. Let's go with Dobby. Dobby is rocking that Iron Valiant, Mega Scizor, Deoxyspeed, Excalibur, Thunderous Therian, Suicune, Sinistacha, Hippowdon, Bisharp, Weezing. A lot of high point mons on his draft. He told us that while he was drafting that, you know, taking 3 of the top 7 mons it was really doesn't hamper on your budget going forward, but I think he did a really good job drafting. Now, Iron Valiant, obviously just one of them, if not, I would classify it as the most versatile mon on the draft board this season. You really don't know what set it's going to be. It could be Specs, it could be Scarf, Expert Build, Life Orb. It can even be trick sets, heavy duty boots, you name it. Iron Val with that stab, boom blast, and access to close combat really makes it it really makes it hard in the builder to really prep against. Mega Scizor being the best mech on the board, I believe it was. U-turn, pivot, reliable recovery and roost, defog, bullet punch, hitting any non-resist really hard. Makes it uber threatening, and Deoxyspeed, another one of the most versatile mons on this board. I think Deoxyspeed is fantastic in drafts like this. You can really flex it into any position. Screen, hazard setter, nasty plot setup, sweeper. Deoxyspeed is just a nasty mon to deal with, and I believe his defensive core in Suicune, Sinistacha, and Hippowdon are very, very hard to break, especially when we're looking at maybe a Crocoon or Strength Saps, then a Stature, Slack off, and Powdon. Just these mons on the team are just really hard to break overall. And I believe like the waiting game will probably go into Dobby's favor in any game, especially with Mega Sizz or Iron Valiant. Really just chipping away at you, especially with that Sandstorm damage that Hippowdon provides. Yeah, I expect this team to do really good this season. Also, another new guy on the block, Zeta with a stack attack of Slammers. His draft is looking like Garchomp, Meowscarada, Slowbro, Celesteela, Weavile, Mega Heracross, Rotom Heat, Gardevoir, Miltank, and Kalfa Grigus. None of the mons absolutely jump out besides, your obvious threats in Meowscarada and Garchomp. Garchomp can be really that any set, SD, Scale Shot, or Tank Chomp, Rocks, and Meowscarada being a top 3 versatile mon on this board. Banded Scarf with that Protean really makes it hard to switch in for any team. Really hard to prep for in any team's builder. Slowbro and Celesteela being great, especially in physical walls. Weavile just coming in and being a great revenge killer. And Mega Heracross, I haven't seen cook in this league yet, but I am excited to see what it does. Rotom Heat always finds its niche in the league, always being one of the better defensive switch-ins. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Zeta can do this season. As being the new guy on the block, he may not have a lot to prove, and so, but there will be people watching his games. I can assure you that. Oh, looks like we're reaching the end here. Only got about 4 teams to go. That's fine. Let's go with my boy Simp, the Belly Goats. He drafted Torn-T, Mega Medicham, Ogerpon, Wellspring, Clefable, Petrarant, Crook, Salamence, Volcanion, Tentacruel, and Belly Bolt, the team mascot. Now in Simp's drafts, he did snipe a lot of people with where he took some of his mons, and they were great snipes. Petrarant was all over my boards, and he took that right before I was about to pick it. So good on Simp. Torn-T, obviously the regenerator, can be anything. Access to knockoff, Hurricane, Bleak Windstorm, you name it. Mega Medicham, one of the best breakers on the board. Physical walls, really hate seeing that come in. Not knowing it's said, it could be T-Punch, Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt, Close Combat, or even High Jump Kick if it needs to. Alongside the breaking power of Ogerpon Wellspring that we all know it is, those Ivy Cudgels, Water type, really just smack any switching. Water being such a great typing for Ivy Cudgel. Yeah, this team could be real threats. Clefable and Petrarant being your walls. Yeah, I do expect Simp to do great this season, and I'm hoping he does. My boy Meep drafted the Tapu Koko, Mega Latios, Landorus Incarnate, Single Strike Urshifu, Ferrothorn, Toxapex, Mammo, Skeledirge, Mousehold, and Shuckle. I was talking with one of my boys, another coach in here, whose team we're about to get to actually. Ferrothorn Toxapex being a defensive core sounds disgusting in draft. There is almost nothing on the board that can break that core without huge setup numbers, and the regenerator aspect of Toxapex, as well as the Iron Barbs, hazard setting. Annoying that we all know Ferrothorn can be paired with very fast attackers. Obviously you have Tapu Koko and Mega Latios, but though I'm looking at Landorus Incarnate, Urshifu Single Strike. Urshifu Single Strike having the access to Wicked Blow can be scarf sets, and there's not a lot of dark resists in the league. Makes this team really threatening, and I'm I would put money that this team makes playoffs this season. Very good draft. Very good draft. My boy Godly coming to Joda. We have Gouging Fire, Golden Goat, Tapu Lele, Ursaluda Blood Moon, Darmanitan, Weezing Galar, Mega Sharpedo, my boy Hoopa Unbound, his boy Gudra Hisui, Enamorous Therian, and Kecleon. This team was very unique to me when he was drafting it. I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but after looking at it in the builder, this team can be just so flexible in any matchup. We could really threaten a Trick Room team. We could really threaten Specs Lele, set up Gouging, expanding Force Hoopa. That sounds disgusting. Yeah, this team, I think Godly knew what he was doing when he was drafting this team. I just had to let him cook. And I'll let it be known now. I'm probably the biggest hater and biggest fan of Godly in this league. I want to see him succeed. And I do expect him to make playoffs with this team as well. Yeah, this team is disgusting with Trick Room, Blood Moon. Could even be like Trick Room, Hoopa, Gudra Hisui, Enamorous Therian. Yep. Team is very dangerous to look at in the builder. And last but not least, my boy Dev drafting Necrozma, Zapdos, Megazard, X, Hydreigon, Buzzwole, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, Empoleon, Swampert, Ninetales, Alola, Chansey, and Hoopa. Now, I personally like his draft. I think there was some positions he got wrong while he was drafting, but overall, I do like the team. He's been questioning his team to me, but I think he'll be just fine in this league. Empoleon, he says, is his GOAT, holding everything together. So he is not in any trade talks, which I find funny. But yeah, Necrozma just being that versatile, don't know what set it's going to be any week is threatening enough. Zapdos as your physical switch in with that static proc can really spread that paralysis around, and Megazard X would love that paralysis to be around to get those DDs off, to get those Tough Claws boosted Flare Blitzes off, as well as Hydreigon, to be honest, because if Zapdos is spreading paralysis to other teams, Dev can afford to run maybe a Specs Hydreigon set, and with this monstrous, 125 special attack Dracos, nothing's appreciating switching into that a raw Specs one, especially if you're paralyzed. So Buzzwole being one of the best physically defensive mons in the league, as well as punching back. Yeah. Ogerpon Cornerstone. Yeah, this team is threatening. And we could really get some much needed bulk from Ninetales, Alola, Aurora Veil to really snowball things out of control for other teams. Yeah, this team looks body threatening. And there you have it, guys. Those are all the roster breakdowns of this entire GTP Pokemon Draft Season 9. Do expect weekly uploads from me. Like I said, I'm going to make this a little bit of a series. Expect a match review as well as a team building video every single week. We have some other videos coming too. I'm in another draft league that I do plan on uploading for. Maybe not weekly, but if we get some good wins, I'll post them. Expect Showdown Live, some laddering videos, as well as we might go and watch some SPL Tour games, break down how they're playing, so on and so forth. But nonetheless, I'm really excited to be back into this content thing. I really couldn't have done it without the people hyping me up and having the people behind me and the support I do. So it's really nice, and I'm really excited to start this journey off this way. But like I said, We're getting back on this Pokemon grind. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you if you want to be a part of this journey as we start uploading this Pokemon content. Share this with your friends. Let's try to build this draft community up. Discord will be in the description below for anybody who wants to maybe join another season, or we'll have some tours going on, so on and so forth. Just trying to build the GTP draft community up. But yeah, like I said, really excited to start this journey. And that'll be it. Love you guys. Peace.